Ready, ready, ready. We're going to start this a little bit earlier than normal, but why not? We will just do a little chit chat before we actually get started. I have done some prep work. Like I said, we're just going to have a little chit chat before we actually start the cooking. So, no big. Let me put the cooking on camera portion. Because I've already done some prep work. Trucker Girl Kiana, how you doing? Last post I saw from you was you were heading out I-40. Oh yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm stuck here in Virginia. Got here yesterday. Permits didn't let me go really any further because of sunset. And also I could not travel Sunday. So we've been here all day in Clifton Forge / Covington, Virginia. No, basically just, dealing with a bit of paperwork for the loads, for this truck in particular, because every truck, has its own little permit book. I was basically copying things and putting things into little sleeves for this truck in particular. So, I still have the same trailer I had with the other truck, so I had to make sure I copied over the registration, the insurance, and all that jazz. Just make sure it's all good. Hey, TJ. I hope you were having a good time at home with the family. So, like I said, we just started just a little bit early. We got another couple minutes before we actually really get started with the full on-camera cooking. I have done a little bit to prepare for it because I got some, with this dinner, there's a lot of different components going on. So there's some things I wanted to prepare ahead of time, but I'll explain that as we go along. Get my treat here. But, so we got a few things prepared. Got to do things. Well, that's good. Pork chops. All right. Cannot go wrong with pork chops. Fork Mike. Hey, yeah, I know you were. You posted something about dropping a couple of pounds. So excellent. The main thing. I always have that big dispute with exercise and diet and all this other the health kick people get on. For me it's a constant. It's an everyday thing. If you do it every day, it's so much easier to deal with our health. If we do it only once in a while, it becomes a chore, then it doesn't get done. Gemini 15, how you doing, sir? If it's working for you, like I tell everybody, if it works for you, do it. Now, I have basically 63 days, until my 50th birthday. So, I am nowhere near as active as I used to be as a landscaper, as an arborist, as a lawn technician, as a carpenter, as a roofer. I don't get to ride bicycle like I used to. I'm not as active as I used to be. But, 30 years of hard physical labor, does take a toll on the body. And, I got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. It's like, So I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to try to take it easy. Brad Parks, Kane Henson, how you doing, sir? Both of you gentlemen, hope you're doing good. And a happy Sunday to you, Brad. So like I said, we just wanted to get on here a little bit earlier than normal and just have a little chit chat and whatnot. Like I said, just sitting here. It's been cold all day here in the a little bit west of I-80. We're right on I-64. A little, basically between I-80 and the West Virginia border. Like I said, we got here Saturday. Got ourselves parked. Permits would not let me drive today, but one, the place I'm delivering to is not going to be open today anyway. Two, being on permits, I have a very specific route that I have to follow here in Virginia. And because I had to stop within half an hour of sunset, there is no other place around here to really stop. I think there's like a mom and pop place and a couple of grocery stores that I might have been able to park at, but it's one of the things. I'm at the Loves here in Covington/Clifton Forge, Virginia. I have showers, I have bathroom, I have laundry, I have, food if I need it, but I got food. So, this was best place to stop. I got approximately 150 miles to my delivery in Amherst, Virginia. So I wasn't going to get to my delivery location. I couldn't stay there the weekend anyway. There's no place between here and there along the route I'm required to take that I could stop. So this is where I stopped. So I'm in a 34 reset come the morning. More like 40 hours by the time I actually do leave here. So, reset my clock. Hopefully I have a load down to Atlanta, after this. That was the plan beforehand. No news on the truck. I don't expect any within the week. So come Monday, I will give a call to the office, to the shop, to see what the deal is. If they hopefully, because I left Minnesota on Wednesday. Well, I left the shop on Wednesday. My truck was still on the trailer that picked it up from Paducah, Kentucky. So it was still sitting on the trailer there. I managed to move about 95% of my stuff into this truck. Because if I'm going to be out of that truck for 2 weeks, roughly, I'm going to have my stuff with me. I'm going to have my kitchen. I'm going to have my bedding. I'm going to have all the stuff that I need. I had to move all my equipment, my chains, my binders, edge protectors, all the little bits and bobs that I use to do my job, all my tools, all my spare parts. So I'm going to move my clothes. I'm going to move my food. I'm going to move my kitchen. I'm going to move my bedding. I'm going to move everything as much as I could. So, it's just been a pain in the neck, for the most part. Having my truck break down, being moved into a truck temporarily. So once my truck is fixed, they do all the warranty, quote unquote, testing of this transmission to see what they're going to do with it. It's a matter of how fast they do that, and then what the remedy is to repair it. My thinking would have been take out the transmission, put a new transmission in there. Hey, Attitude, how you doing, sir? Take the old transmission out, set it aside. clean up anything they got to clean up from the back of the engine in between the drive shaft, put the new transmission in there, get it going, get it out of there. That could have been done in a day. One day they could have had that done. Bing, bang, boom. Then take the transmission, put it on a test bench, and test it. You can do everything that you can do driving with that transmission, you can do on a test bench. So there wasn't, that's my logic at least. They don't when they're building those transmissions and they're going to test them, they don't test them on a truck. They put it on a test bench, plug it in, shift through the gears, make sure it's working, take it off, send it down the line. That's how that's done. Josh, this truck is exactly the same, quote unquote, as the other truck. This is a heavier truck. It's made for the 10 axle, 12 axle trailers. So, this is a beefier truck. It's got a more powerful engine. It's geared a little bit differently. There is the from this wall to the passenger side wall, it's a slightly bit narrower, like about 2 inches narrower. But other than that, it's fine. So, but it's okay. No, unless I gotta clarify. Unless they send me over to the Port of Baltimore or, in the Mid-Atlantic area, basically I have to be east of Washington, D.C. in order to actually get my Royal Farms chicken. Now, I seriously doubt that I'm going to go up to Pennsylvania, near Ferris Hills. I'm probably not going to go to the Port of Baltimore. That's not that likely. It's a possibility. I mean, I could go there. And if I do, I will be swinging by the Dorsey Road, Telegraph Road, around DWI Airport. I will be swinging into the Royal Farm Center. There's just enough room for me to swing in, park, get back out onto the highway if I do not have a oversized load. That's the qualifier. If I have an oversized load, I'm not going down I-75 or down I-97, which goes down toward Annapolis from Baltimore. US 3. Not US 3, Maryland 3. I won't be going that way if I have an oversized load, unless I'm staying in Maryland, going to Southern Maryland. Well, Josh, it's not my truck. It's not my property. So, A, it's under warranty. B, it's a company's vehicle. I'm on salary, so I get paid no matter what I'm doing. So, there you go. Not a big deal. That's their thing. Plus, I do have all. This company doesn't have automatics. But maybe there's a couple of aerodynamic trucks for the van fleet. They might have a couple of a couple of automatics in there for the van fleet exclusively, because they're not going to be hauling more than 8,000 pounds, the truck and the cargo combined. So, no worries about that. Well, let's see. Let's turn that light on there. There we go. All right, so let's talk dinner. Lori, Crochet Corner, how you doing? Exactly. It's one of the things. It's one of the few things about Maryland and Baltimore in particular that I miss. A real crab cake, but I can order that online from G&M Crab Cakes from the G&M Lounge. Hello, Margaret. How you doing? I miss having a snowball, basically crushed ice with flavored syrup on it. A really sugary kind of Kool-Aid type syrup. Uh, I miss having Royal Farms fried chicken, but anytime I can get into the area, Maryland, a tiny bit of Pennsylvania, a tiny bit of Delaware, a little bit of Delaware, I can get some Royal Farms fried chicken. So I can get it when I get back in the area. But those are the, and also a Polak Johnny's Polish sausage. Those are the four big things that I miss about Baltimore and Maryland in particular. Other than that, big deal. I may have been born there, but it's not been home to me for a long, long time. Temporarily, I'm out of Atlanta, Georgia, Marietta, and I do have plans moving to Lake Flathead, Kalispell, Polson, Big Elm, Elko, Big Arm, Swan Lake, that area in Montana. So we will do what we'll just work on it. So hopefully everybody sees the this Trucker's Life hat. I got the shirt. I got a shirt as well. I got a beanie somewhere around here, but I also got a Class 2 safety jacket. I got the label on there as well. And I had fun. It's a little bit, costs a little money, but it's always nice to have that. So, we are making ramen, which I think everybody has seen what we got. So, we are going to make some tempura as well. So, we got a wok here, which is going to be, we're making our soup base in this. So, our soup base is in this little, like, tea bag like thing. Lots of fish, lots of mushroom, and seaweed, kelp in here. So we're gonna boil. We're gonna put the water in there. We're gonna boil it up, let that steep. A little bit of garlic in here. We're gonna flavor the soup with that as well. We're gonna boil an egg to hard boiled. Here's our ramen noodles, imported from Japan, just like the soup base is. We're gonna add a bit of soy sauce to that soup base. We have already fried some chicken, a chicken thigh with salt and pepper, really heavily salt and peppered. Fried it on the panini grill. And we also did some chuck roast with lots of fat. We got that in the bowl here. See, it's a little bit cool, so it's congealed a little bit. But we put the soup base on that. That'll melt. All that flavor will release. So we got that going there. So let me get this here. So like I said, we did a little bit of prep work. We're not too worried about keeping it super hot in here, but so we did a little bit of gyoza on the grill. We got some beef here, and we got the chicken thigh over here. And then all that will go as the topping for our ramen. So we got that set up to the side. Just right. Now, we are going to be putting a little bit of this soba sauce on the side so we can dip our beef into. That way, the beef gets a little bit, gets warmed by the soup, but gets this extra flavor from that soba, this dipping sauce. Normally you dip the noodles in here, but we're going to use that for the beef. All right. We've also got some vegetables here. Got a little bit of carrot. We got some mushroom, some green onion, and we got, of course, the vegetable of the sea, some shrimp. We made a little bit of tempura batter here. We got a wok here on our hot plate, so we're going to turn that on. We are going to cook with some peanut oil. I prefer peanut oil and olive oil, or butter, or bacon fat, or beef fat. Those are the oils that I prefer cooking in. Now, this is not something we would normally do in a truck. be deep frying things. But, we will take as much care as we can to be as safe as possible. So we're going to tuck that up under there. Tuck that away so we don't hit it. Now, but see, I don't mind an instant ramen noodle. It's what you do with it. If you just use the simple little instant base in there, and just and boil it up, and it's okay. It'll do what you got. Well, I hope so, Tony. I hope so, Troy. Sorry, called you Tony. Troy. We're going to heat this up here. We have a lid here in case that decides to get hand. We have plenty of towels right at the ready, so if we need to throw it over there to calm it down, we will do so. I would not normally recommend this be done. Now, I wish I had a regular deep fryer to do this in. That'd be a whole lot better, but we're going to make do. So we got our tempura batter here. We got our tempura mix right here. I got a towel right here. My cast iron pan to catch any of the oil that drips. This is the only piece that I kept from an Emeril Lagasse 360 power air fryer cooker that I had bought that blew up on me, which I was not happy. 20 minutes of use and it blows up. This is the only piece I kept out of it, and it's the only piece worth anything. So we're going to set that there. So when everything is cooked, we're going to throw it around here, let it drain. It's got the air circulating around it, so it's going to remain crispy. It's not going to be greasy, so it'll sit right there. We got the oil there. So the last thing we're going to do is the shrimp. The vegetables we're going to do first. And the first thing I'm going to do is a piece of carrot. We got the mushrooms, nice and dry. Everything's been sitting out for a while, so it's nice and dry. So we take get a plate here. So we are going to, this shrimp here is raw, uncooked. We're going to take the shell off. So, nice, not too small, not too big. A little bit bigger would be preferable by me, but, we're going to peel the shell off. Except we're going to leave the tail on because the tail is going to help us to put it in there and take it out. So here we go. So we're gonna test the oil here real quick. We're going to take a bit of carrot, throw in the tempura batter. Tempura batter is supposed to be really thin. If you get it really, really thick, it's not going to do anything. It's just be really, really thin. You should be able to see what you're cooking through the batter. The batter is there just to give a little bit of protection and a little bit of flavor and a little bit of visual appeal. All right, so we're going to turn that down a little bit. It's going to be real tough to control the temperature like this, but we're going to do our best. While we're watching that, we're going to peel another piece of shrimp. And I'm not trying to do too many things at once. We're going to take that out, set that right there. Do a piece of mushroom. There we go. We're going to throw several other mushroom in right now. We're just going to coat it and throw it in. Mix it up. Get that all over the place. It don't take long. We're not trying to take a lot of time with this. It doesn't take much to cook that tempura batter. Now, when you see, the big, thick layers of tempura batter on there, that's mainly to please the tourists, please the foreigners. Real tempura is very, very thin. Turn that down just a little bit more. There we go. Now it'll have a light crunch to it. There we go. Like I said, this is not normally going to be done in a truck in the confined spaces like we're in, but we are going to do our best. There we go. Get ourselves another shrimp here. By the time I peel this one shrimp, that'll pretty much be done. Yep. There we go. And we're going to turn that off, let that cool down a little bit. Got that right there to drain. Like I said, this will help it to remain crispy. Yeah. I'm going to get a little bit of a strainer here. All right, so we're just going to get those little bits out of there as much as we can so they don't burn. Gonna set those right there. Try to keep this oil as clean as possible. If we need to add a little bit more oil, we will. There we go. Right there. Just going to take this carrot. Put those carrots in there. Clean off our chopsticks a little bit. We turn that back on. We're just going to place these in one at a time. So they don't stick, they don't stick to each other. They don't stick to anything else. But we want this to be nice and thin coating on everything that we're doing here. Like I said, you want to see through the batter. I mean, it could be a little bit thicker, but I think we'll be okay. All right. Up just a little bit more. There we go. I need me a. Oh, thought I had another towel out. We'll use the edge of this one to clean up our chopstick here. There we go. We can use this scoop to just scoop them all up at once. Set those off to the side. Try to keep them separated so they don't stick to each other. Don't hold on to that oil as much. There we go. Turn it up a little bit. We got a bit of green onion here. I'm just going to throw them all in. There we go. Make sure they get coated. Scallion, green onion, however you want to call it. Turn that up a little bit more. The white parts are going to cook a little bit, take a little bit longer to cook all the way through than the green parts. Because the green part's pretty much just a little hollow piece of of leaf. And the white parts are a little bit more firm. There we go. Let that do its thing. Take care of a little more shrimp here. Yeah. I've driven a Volvo. I've driven the Freightliner. I've driven an International. You know, not long, but enough to know what I like and don't like. I've driven the Kenworth T680, the Peterbilt 389. Now, all the other trucks besides the Peterbilt and besides what I learned in school, driving in school for the license, everything else has been automatics, which I really don't like. I don't like automatics in a car. I don't like automatics in a truck, especially. There we go. Just lightly crisped up. Set those right there. There's that last piece there. There we go. So get all this extra batter out of there as much as we can. We got to get that heat up a little bit more. So we're going to leave that right there. Turn the heat up a little bit. There we go. We almost got the shrimp done. But other than that, we got a we're gonna have a simple, it's a little bit of work to do a meal like this. I mean, it definitely is easier just to crack open a can of soup and pop it in the microwave. But if I'm gonna have soup, I'm gonna make it just, kind of like what I'm doing here. I'm gonna make some soup. I'm gonna enjoy, making the soup as much as eating it. So this needs to stay in there a little bit longer because it is raw shrimp. I'll take just a little bit more. So we're going to drag that in there. Lay that down in there like that. And we're going to do these one at a time so I can watch it a little bit better. These are at room temperature. Don't be afraid to bring your meat, your vegetables, your eggs up to room temperature. You're not going to die from it. Flip that over on the other side there. Move this stuff over a little bit. There's one. Two. We're gonna step it up here a little bit. I think I got a pretty good control over the temp. Turn that down just a tad. Those in there. Got to set them in there so it's a little bit easier. Make sure I keep the tails up out of it so we can have an easy built-in handle. Set it right there so we can drain. A little more oil might be good, but I don't want to have too much in there. I think we'll do a third one there real quick. Get that little bit, a real thick piece of meat on there. Yep. Flip that one over. There we go. That one flipped over. That's set there. All right. Once we get the tempura done, we're gonna get this out the way. We'll get our other wok on there so we can start our ramen. There we go. Get that out the way. There we go. But the ramen is supposed to be the real big star. The tempura is kind of like the guest star. There we go. There we go. I think we're doing A-okay. A little bit. Temperatures come down a little bit, so we got to turn that up. There we go. But like I said, super simple to do. I mean, it's just frying. I mean, it's not complicated. It's just not normal to do in a truck. So we're gonna nice and juicy, nice and sweet, a little bit of the crunch on the outside. Good to go. Okay. We're going to call these done as well. Get those so they can drain. Yep. Now we're going to take that. We got to move this out the way. Sorry. Close the door here. So that's air drying. So we're going to take this pan here. You know, you can see a little bit of the oil in there. We're going to set that on the floor, use that as a trivet for this oil. Because I really don't want to be putting that directly on the plastic carpet there. And all this mess here, you need to get out the way as well. Try to find a space. There isn't a whole lot of space on the floor, but we'll try to find a little bit of space. There we go. Okay. There's those are shells from our shrimp. That there. Go ahead and clean this up a little bit while we're making our switches from other things. Shannon, how you doing? How are you doing? Ain't seen you in a while. There we go. So we're going to throw that there. I had a towel around here. Well, we'll use a big towel. I thought I pulled enough towels out from the cabinet right here. All right. So that's one thing clean. Put that away. Get this towel here to clean this plate. There we go. Nice disinfectant Clorox wipe. Works just peachy keen. Stick that right there for a moment. Dry that off. We don't really need it, so we're going to put that away as well. So now we're going to start our soup stock. So our noodles are going to come out. We're going to do those separately. We got a little bit of garlic, 1 clove. We got an egg at room temperature now. We got our soup mix, mushroom, seaweed, and some fish, all dried up. We're gonna put enough in there to make our soup, and that's all we're gonna put in there. We're not gonna, because all the water that's in here, we're gonna boil and be in our soup. That's gonna go on top of our chicken fat and beef fat, which is gonna add a whole lot of flavor. We're gonna get the egg boiled so that it's pretty much a hard-boiled egg. A lot of people like a half-boiled egg, and I do too. But sometimes it's easier to do a hard-boiled egg. Trying to be so fussy doesn't really cut it for me. So we're taking a little bit of time while we're getting that up to boil. The egg we're gonna have in there for about 8 minutes, roughly. So just about 6:30, we'll take that egg out. We'll set the soup aside to steep and really get as much flavor out of that tea bag and the garlic as possible. Set that right there. I think that'll be good. And then we got another bowl here, or another pan here, to boil the water to cook the noodles in. Then the noodles, we'll put the soup base into here. We got a little bit of soy sauce. That's going to melt the fat, and all the fat's going to mix into that. We'll put our soup base on there. We'll put our meats on there, whatnot. We'll put a little bit of seaweed with it. We'll peel our egg, cut it up, put it in there. And then we're going to do the tempura on the side, which, got a nice little section there. That's going to be good. And we'll just try to enjoy ourselves with it. Salty dog! All that time to cook and relax. Well, like I said, I'm on permits, which here in Virginia, even though I'm only 9 foot wide instead of the standard 8'6" wide, I'm not allowed to drive on Sunday. Virginia. But even so, I would not have been able to deliver my load today in Amherst, Virginia anyway. So, kind of a catch-22. I could go, but where am I going to go to? I'm going to sit nowhere. So we're at the Loves here in Covington/Clifton Forge, Virginia on I-64. We got here yesterday, about 3:30-ish. Sitting here. Well, Shannon, yeah, normally I would agree, but the amount of garlic I put into the burritos that are now in the refrigerator as leftovers, I think more than compensates for the 1 clove of garlic in here. I'm a bit of a ramen snob. Growing up in Japan as I did for 10 years in the 70s and 80s, yeah, I kind of got my my way set as to what I like the best. So, nothing you can really do about it. So, you see the steam coming off of there. We're going to let that do its thing. When that is pretty much done, we're going to take that off, set that on the floor. We're going to get our other pan here, bit of water in that to make our noodles. And then we'll bring everything together in a nice bowl here, nice little plate on the side to really have a nice dinner. Now the batter on the tempura could have been a little bit thicker. But it's the first time using this particular batter, because not every other time I've done tempura, I've made the batter myself. All right. So, but like I said, living on a truck, pardon me, there are compromises that have to be made in order to get what I want. Exactly, as long as there's some garlic somewhere. You know, garlic, salt, butter, bacon, soy sauce, mac and cheese, a quality hot dog. There's some things in life that you just have to have. You know? And one of my guilty pleasures, which I could probably do without, but I've done without a lot of things in the past, so I ain't gonna begrudge myself a Pepsi now and again. All right. So we're going to take this. In just a moment, we're going to set that on the floor. We're going to let it boil just a little bit more. Make sure that egg is cooked the way we want it. Now, Gemini, you are testing me. I got back from Japan in 1988. I haven't had anybody to talk to, so my Japanese is rusty. So I'm drawing a blank. You know, there's a few things that I do remember. Ohio gozaimasu, good morning. Konnichiwa, hello or good afternoon. Konbanwa, good evening. Itadakimasu, let's eat. You know, thank you for the food. Gomenasai, I am sorry. Dosatashimashita, thank you. Or you're welcome. You know, a few things I still do remember, but unfortunately not enough. All right, so we're going to take this, set that right on the floor here on a nice cotton towel so it doesn't burn anything. Get that pan. There we go. We'll put a bit of water on this. Water is sacrificial water. This will be thrown out. All right, so we're going to take a lid there to raise the pressure in the pan. Let's set that on the floor there, over there, I think. There we go. So don't spill that. So we are going to take, let's set that lid right there for a moment. We're going to scoop out our egg from the water, from our soup, as it were, to set that up there. We're going to take this lid, stick it right over there. So like I said, this is chicken fat and the beef fat. The beef fat is what is congealed. The beef fat is what is congealed in here with the lowering of the temperature. Chicken fat will stay liquid a lot longer. The beef fat is not as, not a normal thing I would put in there, but I'm not going to waste it. So we're going to take our soup base here. And take out our garlic. Because I only want it to flavor. I don't want to have a big chunk of it in there. We're going to take our tea bag with our soup base. Take that out. Our soup base going right on top of all that fat. There we go. Set that to the side. There we go. Just throw that down there. We're going to stir this up a little bit. Let that fat melt into that hot soup. Put that lid on it so it doesn't get too bad. And we're going to let all the pans cool down as they, as I'm cooking everything else, let those cool down, be easier to deal with. Behind the truck, there is a brush area where nobody's going to be walking, nobody's going to be traipsing through. It's wild land. The only thing back there is overgrown, weeds and grass and trees and vines. Not walking anywhere. The oil, the tempura base, the water, all that will go behind the truck out of the way. Unfortunately today, my neighbor on my passenger side decided he wanted to throw his whatever out the window, right out the driver's window right there. Not caring about anybody needing to walk around the truck, which I was not too happy about. I said a few things to his open window, which I'm sure he heard. So like I said, we're going to let that boil. So let's see if we can see the color of my soup stock here. So this is a little bit darker, primarily because of the beef fat and a little bit of the chicken bits that are in there. The caramelized meat. But I also add some Kikkoman soy sauce. A, to give it a little more depth of flavor. B, to give it a little bit more color. Stick that there. Then we're going to stir that up a little bit. Get that all nice and even. Now, of course, the oil is going to float on the top. But that's A-okay. We're going to take a quick little oh yeah, nice, little bit fishy, little bit of that mushroom, a little bit of the beef and the chicken and the salt and the pepper and everything else that's in there. So not too shabby. We're going to crack our egg here. Get that ready to peel. Water's boiling. Find my noodles here. So this type of noodle, I forget what the Japanese name is, but if I remember right, it's called rod or baton. I think it's called rod. R-O-D, like a stick. These are not so long. I mean, about the length of my hand, but as they absorb the water, they get a little bit longer, and they really do a good job of absorbing the water quickly. Unlike pasta, Japanese, the ramen noodle will not stick to each other. Crazy Shepherd, Rudy Siddig, how you doing? B Blood. Well, that's always the aim, B Blood, to always be safe on the road. I had to report 2 people. I called their company safety departments this past week because people were so insanely dangerous. One, a truck driver at the fuel island. He was just flying through the fuel island, backing up, nearly running into the fuel pump, not caring about who's walking around the fuel island. And then the other guy was a small local West Virginia, grocery store chain. Guy in a little box truck, cutting people off, not using his turn signals, got his leg sitting so far up that I could see his knee in the window. It's like, no, that's not how you drive. So, I have no problem being a snitch or a tattletale because I don't want my life put in danger. I don't put anybody else's life in danger. I expect the same thing from other people. So, all right, so let's put this up here. There we go. I think that'll be okay. Right there. Gonna get a pair of tongs out here so I can get my ramen out of the water. All right. Whew. You see how quick this was? Doesn't take a whole lot. And unlike the prepackaged noodles, these noodles here will stand up a lot longer to the water, to the soup. Whereas the prepackaged noodles, they just go soggy too quick. If you don't eat it within 3 minutes, the noodles are bad. Are disgusting. Well, Kiana, if you could shift to 10 speed, you could shift 18. It's easy. You got 2 more little things to do, but you still have to know what gear you need to be in, what power you need, all that jazz. So it's not a big deal. Right. I'm going to peel this egg nice and gently. It should still be a little bit soft in the middle. But we're going to try to peel this as carefully as possible. Let's go ahead and take this out, because this is now officially done. Stick this out the way. Here we go. So we're going to turn that off. Take our cover off of our soup. Drain water off of there. Lay those in there nice and neat. There we go. There we go. Set that right there. We're going to take our chicken. Now, chicken has gotten a little bit cold, but it's going to warm up in the soup. A little bit of chicken there. I'm going to take a little bit of the beef. Set it right there. We're going to take everything else. We're going to put the gyoza up here. We got the gyoza dumplings. We're going to put our tempura up here, which we can dip into the there we go. Get that all up there. We're not going to be as pretty as we could be, but whatnot. There we go. Set this out the way. There we go. Get this egg peeled here. And I'm just dropping this into the wok here. So like I said, we'll clean this all up. This will be just fine. Yeah. I probably could have shocked the egg a little bit with some ice water if I had any, but we're not gonna grouse about it. It's only gonna get eaten. We're not trying to really impress anybody. We're just trying to have a good meal. Yeah, I just did. Instead of doing the gyoza in the pan, I already had the panini maker hot and covered with fat and oil. Just do them on the panini grill real quick. They were already at room temperature. So I just do it on there real quick, put a little bit of grill marks on it. So we were good to go. Last little bit of shell. It was still a little bit raw on the inside here, so we're good. Got a nice soft egg right there. And let's see, where is it? Now, here we are. We got a little bit of nori or seaweed. Here we go. Throw that right in there. So, tempura and gyoza, shrimp pork and vegetable dumplings, carrots, mushrooms, green onion. Nice bowl of ramen, seaweed, beef, chicken. That, spit out the way. Like I said, we got a little cup here. Take our soba dipping sauce. We're going to use that for the beef. Just a little bit. And of course, the obligatory book pictures. And we'll post those in a minute. So like we like to say in Japan, itadakimasu, basically, thank you for the meal, bless the meal, I am grateful for the meal, let's eat, you know, type affair. So, like I said, tempura, typically not done in a truck. Just like when I make pasta with my pasta machine. Typically not done in a truck. So, dip that in the sauce there real quick. Bit of the green onion. So the beef has been warmed back up by the soup. Dip that in the soba sauce. Excellent, excellent, excellent. A little bit of the seaweed. A few noodles. Excellent. Now this is a chicken thigh that I deboned. Cooked on the panini grill. Heavily peppered, heavily salted. There we go. And of course, you know, nice little gyoza dumpling. We're going to dip it in the soba sauce as well. There you go. It makes a bit of a mess, but it definitely is enjoyable. Whenever I have a ramen, I always sleep real well because there's nothing in there that ever upsets my stomach. It always settles my stomach. I could be having the worst day, sicker than a dog with the flu or not. You know, just not feeling well because of the weather or elevation or anything like that. I have me a ramen that settles me down, nice and warm, all kind of good. So, we're going to finish having dinner here. I want to say thank you very much for joining me for ramen and tempura and a little bit of gyoza in the truck. We're gonna have a nice good meal. I'm gonna give it about an hour or so. Then I'll worry about cleaning up, which I do not mind cleaning up. That's all part of the process of cooking. The preparation, the cooking, the eating, the cleaning. It's all one thing. It is all worth the effort for this. So we're gonna have, take another little bit of the seaweed. We only need one piece here. Here we go. Grab a few noodles. Another piece of beef into the soba sauce. Nice, a little bit sweet. And we are going to enjoy ourselves. A bit of this carrot here. I said all the ingredients were at room temperature. They all cooked faster. They all cooked more evenly. It just works a lot better. Don't be afraid of having your stuff non-refrigerated. So, a little bit of the old shrimp here. Yum, yum, and yum. So I'm going to say thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing how we do it here in a truck. There's my steering wheel right there. So it's not too hard to do. The only thing is, most people are afraid to do it, but don't be afraid of it. Enjoy yourself. Make being on the road or wherever you're at enjoyable. That's the big thing. Life is hard enough as it is. Why not make the meals you have the best part of the day? So hopefully we'll be able to see you next week. We will see if I am back in my truck or we're still in this loaner truck. But like I said, well, I'll find out sometime this week what the timeline is. Pardon me. We'll go from there. Other than that, God bless. Have a good night. And if I do not see you before the end of the year, Merry Christmas to you all. Have a Happy New Year. I am trying to get a video edited and uploaded, so hopefully I'll have that done tonight. We'll see for the vlog. I had another hard drive go south on me, so a lot more missing footage. We basically skipped over from, Thanksgiving to Christmas, past New Year's, into February. I got one loaded up from February. Now we're up to April the 13th. So, but I'll try to do what I can. Modern technology is a pain in the backside, but we'll try to muddle through. But we'll see if we can get a video, a vlog uploaded, and go from there. So, thank you very much. God bless. And we'll try to see you tomorrow on Facebook in the morning, doing some driving or unloading. And in the afternoon, we'll see what we're going to do on YouTube. Other than that, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the working, Saturday and Sunday, dinner. So we're going to have this for dinner tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to be having leftover burritos from yesterday. And then we'll see what the week brings us. Other than that, God bless and see y'all later. Have a good one.